to fmtraining.tv. My name is Margaret. I'll be your broadcast engineer for today. Hope y'all's Monday is going well. Hello, Nick. How are you?
Hello, how are you?
Pretty good, thank you. Basically, today, tomorrow, and Wednesday, we are continuing our FileMaker Go training series with Nick. There's a lot of really good stuff that Nick covers about, frankly, designing for a Go application because it has different considerations and different requirements to take into account. If you'd like to support the channel, you'd greatly appreciate it. We have our FM Training annual subscription bundles. There are 3 options. The very minimal one can, I believe, include stuff on Pro, Go, and Server, and everything, and all the other like smaller courses are included with the other sets. And I believe the final version has a copy of FileMaker with it, as well as FMSP enhanced. With that being said, I think I'm probably good to hand it over to you, Nick, and we can get started. So.
Okay, so that being said, like you say, we talk about FileMaker Go today. So we continue a little bit on iPhone. And I'm sorry, but I might have a hardware issue with my phone because it's not working on any computers. So I think my iPhone has a hardware issue. It's a new phone, but I don't know because I tried many computers and it doesn't work. So it comes and then it goes. It's so I don't know, maybe a software issue, and I don't want to, reset everything. So it's a big. So I will do the share screen with iPad because iPad works. So yeah, I will do that with the iPad. And anyway, it's not making a big difference for what we talk because I can show that in FileMaker directly, and it's exactly the same on the phone. So it behaves the same, it shows the same. So the most important is to know how to build components and how to play with the navigation and stuff like this, right? So so last week we talked about navigation a bit, right? And to have a very light navigation. And also, yeah, I mean the best way that what they say, when we train about UI UX by design, the first thing they say the best navigation is not having one. It's not having to navigate. So avoid the navigation as much as possible. What we call navigation is moving from one spot to another, right? And the best way is to have a flow, right? To have everything flowing, right? Everything streamlined, to have a very comfortable and easy navigation system, right? When it's very, very simple. So the best way is to organize your layouts, right? And not having everything in one layout. So let's recap a little bit this, right? I think would be good. On an iPhone, by definition, the starting point, when we have, I'm not talking about games, I'm not talking about specific apps and stuff like that, but a record-based application like a messenger, or any type of invoicing, and any type of or app that display records, let's say, like I don't know, a sticker maker or whatever, right? So you start with a list. You always start in the list view. I don't know if you notice this, but you always start in the list. You go music, you start in the list. Where you go, or the App Store, you start with a list, right? So you always start with a list. The starting point on an iPhone is a list. And what we do with FileMaker, we deal with data. Most of the time, you want to start with a list as well, list of records, right? So you start with a list, and then you can navigate. You can scroll up and down in the list view. This is the list view, right? And then you tap a record, right? And then you go to a layout where you have specific things, right? And here last time we worked on this, the communications, right? And then you can edit. So when you edit, you go there and you can edit your data. That means you can edit data like this. You can enter data, right? And then you go back, right? And if you want to go to another record, right? You can either you can swipe on an iPhone with 2 fingers. You can swipe like this, right, from record to record. You can swap 2 fingers, right, left, right, like this. So you will swipe the record to record like this, or you can go to the contact list back. Okay. So if I remember well, you had some question on the side from last week, if I remember.
Yes, I believe I saved that into my notes. Oh yes, it was the barcode question. So, hi Nick, on my iPhone, if I attempt to enter data into a text field, my keyboard won't engage if I have a Bluetooth barcode reader attached. Is there a way around this?
Oh yeah, yeah, but this I need a phone for that. So I will. So the question, so if you have the barcode reader attached to it, right?
Yes.
But if you don't have, then the keyboard pops. I need to see. Actually, I need to see. Can you do a recording of your screen when that happened? That will help me. If you can do a recording of your screen when when it happened, and I can see what happened here, right?
Yes.
If I see it, I think it will be easier for me.
To process how to fix it. Yeah.
So yeah. So I think that's the best way to. So do you have another question?
Nope, that was the one that we saved. So you are
Okay.
good.
Okay. So I want to deal with a quick way. So we know how to add. So you click here, you add, and then you can add so you click here, you add something here, and then you can add a photo, right? And you can add data, right? And so you can add this like this, active, whatever category you want. Okay. So, and you go back. And when you go back to the detail. You see what you were doing, right? So that means you create a new record directly in the edit mode, because this is where you want to land. And then when you come back to the detail, right? Because you're done editing, you're done creating editing, so it's there. Okay. Same thing when you edit, you change whatever you want to change, and then you come back here, right? And you go back to the detail. And then the next back button, let's say, you go back to the list. Okay. So this is how you create, how you edit, how you navigate. But now I want to show you how to delete a record in a very elegant way. Okay. So much more iPhone-y than any other technique. I don't like to mock something that doesn't work 100% as native. Like, for example, having the sliding thing. We don't have it. I know there's many tricks outside, but it doesn't look 100% native. It's not native. It doesn't behave the native way. I don't like to mock something that's not native. The best is to have a good way that looks native, behave fast and easy, right? Instead of trying to do something that will never be 100% the reality. Okay. So because we don't have it in FileMaker, so let's not doing it. So the best way to do a fast deletion, right? Because you don't want to click. Well, on an iPhone, when you want to delete, you want to select what you want to delete and delete it, right? That's what you want to do. So the first thing you need to have, okay, is a selection system, but a selection system that works fast, okay? So that's why I like to have this system here. So let's do it. So first we do a button. We do a button with an icon, and this will be the check mark. This we will do a green background, right? Or this one, this green, a green background with a white icon, right? And this, we wanted 100% round. And we want 25 to 25, maybe a little bit smaller, 22 to 22. Even smaller, 19, yeah. So, and the icon, we wanted 11. Okay. Even smaller, a little bit more. Okay. So we have this button here, and I need the counterpart in square, in a circle, right? So 1919, circle like this, with the same background we already have, E9, 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 right? Like this. So I have those two objects here, right? So those two objects, right? When you want to, 45, okay. When you want to delete something, right? You need to enter a mode where you can select multiple records, right? We don't use a field where you put a tag in it. You don't use this. This is slow. It is slow. When you have to say, you tap and you say set field, set field, set field to have a field selection, this is super slow to do, okay? No, that's the best way to do that. It's a much better way. So you need to follow me here. I want to, so I have the add button, right? But I want another button here. I'm going to put here, and I call that select, okay? Or selection, whatever, okay? So I have this here, I have a button here on the bottom, right? That a selection, I will make a selection out of it, right? So when you click this button, right, you enter another mode. So how to enter another mode, right? So the best way, and the simpler one, you know, you have a new script. If you want to create a script, new script. Yeah, this server is the only server that is slow as this. So set selection, okay? And this is a simple variable. It's a global variable, you know, and we call that selection. And what this is, well, it's a Boolean toggle, right? So if selection, that means if selection is positive, I mean, is true, then you cancel it. Otherwise, you set true, okay? True or one, whatever you want. But I like to say true here. It's more explicit, right? If selection is true, yeah, you want to put it false, okay? Otherwise, it's true. You can use this. You can say 0 or blank, right? But for this type of use, I like to do this, because if selection false, otherwise true, okay? So what that do, right? So I'm going to attach this script here. I made a script for this. I could have a single script step, but I made a script because we might add something out of after this, right? So when you do this, right? So let's put the data viewer here. And when you say selection, you tap selection. Now selection say 1, true. If I click again, this says 0, right? Right? So it said 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. If I click now, it says 0 because it's now is 1, but if it's 0, when I click, it say 1. Okay. So it's a Boolean toggle, right? On off. It's an on off button. Okay. Right. So now when you say this, when you say you want to hide this when this is positive, right? But you want to do cancel when this is not positive. So what that do? So you see, it's very simple, right? Because you need to stay. We need to stay. So now this selection is positive, so I can cancel it, right? But if now that is false, is negative, is not there, I can select, right? Okay. So I have my toggle button here, right? So normally what I do here, this button cancel, right? I put it red. That means you get out of the selection. So you can see here I have 2 buttons with the same scripts, but they have 2 different actions. So but you know what I mean? So one shows when it's negative, when it's true, and one shows when it's not true, right? You understand? So we have a toggle, and then they all cancel. So I have 2 buttons here, but you notice that I need to refresh because we use a variable, right? So I need to refresh, right? So I need to refresh. I'm refreshing manually. See, I'm doing this. I'm doing the refresh, right? You know, if I click here,
So with
I
the
need to
hey
do
Nick, I'm sitting
refresh.
in for Margaret for the moment. So when you
Yes.
refresh, you could script that, but there are 3 different refresh possibilities with the script steps, right? So would you refresh the whole window?
Yeah.
Would you do this just
No, never,
object?
never. You need to have the striking point. Okay. Refresh window on iPhone will be like, you will have a flickering on all the screen.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. So we don't want that. No, the best way, because I have 2 objects. So what you do, you select the both object, you group them.
Oh, then you name the group.
And yeah, you name the group. I call that selection.
Okay.
Right? And in the scripts, you say refresh objects.
Yeah. Okay.
Group selection. Right?
Nice.
So this is nice. Exactly. It's clean. You know, you refresh this, right? I will have to refresh other thing, but this is the first thing I need to refresh, right? So now you will see it will be like, you know, cancel selection. You see here, cancel selection, right?
That looks good.
So
It's
you
funny.
have, yeah. So you
We've
have,
just been building a
yeah,
list view in FileMaker Go for the helicopter people, and it looks a lot like this, but you always do a much better job, Nick. I always strive to match, try to be as good as you would be on one of your sample files. It's always hard to do, but we always try. So
thank you. I appreciate the compliment.
no,
Always
I
good.
mean, well,
Yeah,
it's well, either I suck bad or you're really amazing, and it's probably a combination of both. I'm sure most of the people here feel that
yeah.
way,
No,
unless someone
no,
here's
it's
an
not this.
artist.
Yeah, like I said last week, I found there's no mercy. That means it's perfect or ugly. I mean, there's no average. You know, that's why when Jobs introduced this, he said that will put many people uncomfortable, because the iPhone, especially the iPhone, if you don't have perfection, it looks ugly.
Mm.
immediately looks ugly. I don't know if you notice this when you have immediately you can feel an app when you it looks like a super clean, super,
Yep.
and then you have another app where it looks like, but it's very tiny. It's like I mean, it's like the human. It's like the creature on Earth. We have 1%. We have 1% different in a DNA between a monkey and a human. Right.
Okay.
The 1% DNA difference. 1% is the same on on an iPhone. 1% of thing bad, right? Well, you're a monkey.
Wow.
It's very hard. Yeah, and that's why I'm very I've been very clear with this, and the best way is to be extremely simple like this. You need to use all the script using here: add contact, 2 lines, delete contact. Okay, I have this, but if 2 lines, right? Or add communication, there's nothing here really. 2 lines, it's very, very lean.
Lean.
Lean
Lean design.
Yeah. Yes. And all what I've done here, adding a contact, navigation, editing, deleting, all of this with only those scripts.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
Right? So that's why, So now we do a deletion that is elegant. Okay. So now that I have this, right? I want to have, so this here, I can delete it because I will never use it, the white. So let's delete it. So I have this here. Okay, so now I want to make an editing clean. Okay, remember, so I'm toggling. So this is the button. This is the go to layout button. Don't try to be smart because it won't work. So what you do, you select, no, it won't work. You select those 2 objects and you group them again. Okay, so let's put that on the back because when we group this, it said, oh. So I have now this object here is, is 1 object, those 2. Mm-hmm. And I can do the same thing here, saying that if the selection is positive, right? Mm-hmm. When selection is 1, hide this, right? Okay. But of course, I need to add this to the group. I need to add this to the refresh process. So I need to name this, right? This is button go to, right? This is the go to button. And I'm going to add this to my script. And I do another refresh object when I set this. So now I have 2 objects, 2 group of objects that I rename, I refresh, this and this. So now, if I'm going here, if I'm canceling, if I say selection, this goes away. And cancel goes away, cancel goes away, cancel goes away. So very easy so far. Okay. Now, I want, when this goes away, right, I want something else, right? Okay. So I want the same button of this, is the same button of this, but smaller. So I'm going to put that here, right? And pretty much the button will arrive here, right? So let's see, yeah, a little bit here. Okay, boom. Okay, so here, this button here is the same as the other one I have underneath, is the same as this one, okay? So I put it here. Hold on, I need to make sure that is here, okay. So now I have two buttons. I have this one and I have this one, larger. So when this one goes and this one comes, this will happen. So let's put back, right? This will happen. Okay. Okay. So I have the same, right? But I don't have the icon.
Right.
No icon. Okay.
Well, the little tab on the end.
So I have the, yeah. So I don't have, yeah, the carrots. I don't have it. But instead, I want this and this. Okay. Let's put together. I mean, they're not, Are they not the same size? Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
And this one, the white one underneath. Right? So when I am, so let's put the green out for now.
Okay.
And let's make this one to hide with this. I want these two to hide when there's not selection.
So when it's not equal to 1, right? Is what you're saying? Not equal to 1.
Yes, well, yeah, exactly. Because it's Boolean, so FileMaker will do the math.
I
When it's
know,
0,
but
1,
for
you don't need
basic
to.
beginning users, I always specify so they
Uh,
it's implied.
yeah,
I get it.
yeah.
I get it.
So now this,
Mhm.
it's another name. It's the button deletion. And I refresh it also.
Mm.
So I have the button to go. It goes away. This one goes away, and this one goes away when it's on, and this goes away when it's off. Okay.
Okay.
So now I will have this system: selection, cancel, selection, cancel, selection, cancel.
Okay,
selection,
it's just
cancel.
through the video
see,
interface.
you have.
Hey, Nick, the video interface is hard to see that circle. It's almost too light colored through the compression.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can.
I would make the outline of
yeah.
that darker because people can't.
Yeah.
Not just that. Try make that like much yeah. Okay, can anyone watching this, if Nick goes back, can you see that outline now? Because I could barely see it, and a lot of you were getting video encoding on top of that. I'm sure it was dropping away. Can you see that now? Yes, David? Top cat. Yeah, now I can see it much better. Yeah, exactly. If I have a hard time seeing it, remember I'm getting the video feed from Nick from Greece, and then we compress it and send it to you. It gets worse. So yeah, that's pretty. Nick, are you doing a multiple selection? Is that what you're working on right now? It seems like
yes, I'm doing the multiple selection. Yes, because
is that
on the phone you don't want to say.
This is where you put the multiple record IDs in a value list. Summary field that contains a value list. That's how you do that. Is that the way you're doing this one, or a technique like that?
No, I'm using a variable. So okay. I'm pulling every. Yeah, I don't do anything in a record. You don't want to edit a record on Go.
No,
because most of the time. Yeah. So you don't set a field. You don't set no. So because it will be much faster. It will behave natively. You know,
Margaret,
because we will say tap,
I'm asking
tap,
Margaret
tap,
question. So Nick says that it's a test question. All of you who are not senior level engineers, here's the test question. Ed, Gadidi, whoever you folks are, I don't mean to talk down to you, because a lot of you are seniors in some areas and not. So Nick says to minimize or not use record editing unnecessarily in FileMaker Go. Why specifically, Margaret? Anyone wants to type this, that's fine, but why specifically? Why would you, if you have a scripted process running, you want to minimize the edits to any record, unless it's essential? Why?
For Go, doesn't it like hang? Like if you leave the application, the record is still uncommitted? Or...
For 120 seconds until the server disconnects you, right? So if you disappear, you die, the server will keep you in there for 120 seconds. It's called a heartbeat. And after 120 seconds, it declares you dead. Sorry, call it, the corner, call it. Time of death, 3:31 a.m. Okay, dead. All right, rubber stamp. Okay, but every time you shoot an edit, you're pushing data to the server. Yeah. You're going to get a response back, which could be a lot of data or not, and so it's killing it's the same penalty for all the clients, but you feel it more on a phone.
Got it.
With a connection.
Got it.
Right? Got it. Good. Margaret had that. Yeah. And Nick, you've been doing good training. She knew the answer. You've been doing good.
Yeah. But she's doing her homework very well.
Well, no, she's been doing very, very well. I had Nick, you could barely see the circle, Margaret, so I had to make it darker because remember the video compression, right? Yeah. All right, Nick, keep going. You're doing good. I like it. It's actually very, very Margaret, see how nice this looks? This is how BVA should look like that pretty. Yeah, I know.
Yes, thank you.
Nick says there's only 1% chance you'll do it, otherwise you'll look like a monkey. I took him out of context,
exactly.
But that's kind of what he said.
So the goal here is to hide a button and to replace by another one that is smaller. because I want the space to show the check mark saying that this button will be, this record will be selected to have an action. Okay, to have an action. So let's continue. So this is show up. This button here, right, will be another script that I'm doing a lot, and I'm going to duplicate because it's faster. So what we want to do now, we want to add and remove an ID, right, from a selection, right? So we want to build a list. Each time you tap on the record, on this button here, you want this to add or remove the ID of that record. But for that to work very well, right, we need to have, because I don't think we have this here, the ID contact needs to be a UUID. I don't know if it's a UUID or not. Yeah, it's a UUID. So this needs to be a UUID, something unique, to work. Otherwise, it won't work. So I want to add in the list the ID. I did that all, so that's set selection, and that is select and select contact, right? This is what I want to do. Select and select contact. So we are going to we are going to create a variable, a global variable, right? That says current contact, or we can say selected contact IDs, because I will have more than one. I can have one, but more. And what this is, right, is our first, I need to do a let statement, right? I prefer to do that way. And I say ID equal the ID contact. That's the ID, okay? And then I say if, let's say if, no, sorry. I say, how am I doing that? I don't remember. I didn't do that for a long time because I'm copying and pasting the same script all over the place. And I forgot how to do that. Yeah, so we do, this is to remove, to remove the ID. So if, sorry, I need to bring the script for another solution, because I have a very nice one and I want to make sure that, let me go to another solution and pick it. I think I have the FMSP from the advanced FM starting point. It's because I don't want to, because I don't FM starting point. Do I have it? I don't have it. FM starting point. I don't have it.
Do you need me to send you a copy?
No. I'm pretty sure I have it. The advanced. Yeah, it's there. No, this is the fan mode master. Yeah, I have the master need copy. So let me go there. Sorry for that. I want to select. I want to bring this. Why is not? Oh, you need to download it. Crap. You need to download it. See, otherwise I'm going to another solution. I'm going to get it, but you need to it's downloading it because it's downloading it from.
Yeah, your internet's already
Why is
going
doing this?
into the Struggle.
Yeah, it's slow. Yeah, it will be slow. I don't know where to get this. Sorry, guys. I don't remember how to do that, but it's okay. I mean, I have the concept, but I never really. It's downloading it. It's downloading it. So the idea will be, okay, it's downloading. So the idea will be that when you tap, that will build up the list. Okay. So it's downloading it because it's on my iCloud, and it's okay. It's almost there. It's 10 megabytes. 9 is almost there. Sorry, guys, but I prefer to get it. Okay, it's there, so I can resume my screen here. Okay, so normally if I go to accounts in this one, if I go to contacts here, if I go there, I will have, oh, this is the NHM. Why? So this contact, yeah, this one. Yeah, it should. That has been modified though. So contact. Hold on. Node contacts. Okay, so they modified it. I have my. I don't know where's my my version of this, because this is not mine. This is definitely not mine. So I don't know where it is. I know. FM starting point. I need to find it. Master hamburger menu. Okay, maybe in my other computer. Starting point. Otherwise, I'm going to another solution. I'm going to find it. So find mode. FM starting point. 22 master. Find mode. Yeah, I don't have it. Well, so I need to remember how to do that. I have a gap. I don't know. Okay, so the unselect selector, we have this unselect select. So select IDs. So normally is I'm doing a let. I'm doing ID equal the ID contact, right? And then I say pattern counts, or if I'm pattern counts in the selected. So in the variable itself, you say contact ID, right? If I have this, if I have the ID here, okay. If pattern counts, if I have this in ID, right? Then we do a substitute, right? But normally, oh, I remember. I remember how to do it. That's it. I have it. It's okay. I remember. It's not this. This is how we say. So I have it. First, I say if this was missing, pattern counts, right? The current ID, the ID where I'm in, the record I am in, if pattern counts the ID contact in the selected contact ID, if it's there, right? If the current one, if the ID of the record I'm tapping right now is part of the list, right? Then you want to remove it. So you have a let and you say substitute, and this is a trick. And you say substitute in this variable. So you substitute in the variable right? And you say brackets, opening bracket, and you say ID, right? And this,
Hey, Nick.
the ID and the carriage
Nick,
return. Yes.
I just realized, I thought that you
Oh,
were
I need to
explaining
resume
things. I
my,
don't actually see what's
yeah,
happening. So,
yeah, exactly.
do you want to back up a little bit? I
Yeah,
thought you
so
were
let
just
me,
walking us through,
yeah,
and I realized
yeah,
that you're actually doing it.
yeah. Sorry, yeah, I forgot that I paused my screen.
Yes.
You have a script steps there. If pattern count the ID where you tap. So I'm tapping a record. I'm tapping on a record, and I have the ID of that record. If that ID is part of the selection, that means I want to remove it. That means if you tap, that means you want to remove that from the list. So to remove something from the list, you use the substitute and you say select, you substitute from the list, from the variable, you substitute either this, right? Or this, right? Or this. Oops. So what's going on here? This and this, you substitute by this, you substitute by this, or this substitute by this. So what happened here? I'm going to explain that later, okay? But this is a way to remove something from a list without having blanks on the list, without having something like this, 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 without having a blank each time you're removing from the list, right? So how we do that? So I can explain right now. Let's say I have my list of ID here, right? This is my list of IDs, right? This is my IDs. And I want to remove this one, the one in the middle, right? So what is going to do? This will work first. This will work first, right? Because I'm removing, this will remove the ID, right? And the carriage return after it. Boom. That will do this. This here will say this. Now, that will work for this one until this one, right? And the first one. It will work this will work for this until there. But this here won't work for the last one. If I want to remove this one, I have the ID, but I don't have a carriage return at the end. Here at the end, I don't have. So if I do this, the last one, if I remove this one, will never get away because I don't have ID and carriage return. Here I have ID and carriage return. I have it here. I have ID and carriage return. ID and carriage return. Okay, but here I have ID, no carriage return. Correct? But I do have carriage return ID. Carriage return ID, I do have it. So this won't work if the ID is this, right? If the ID is this won't work. So the substitute using this bracket method like this is like a case. If this worked, no, okay, go next. If this worked, yes, okay, let's use this. So carriage return and the ID, that works. So that will go away, leaving you without an extra carry return at the end, because it will say carry return ID gone. This will say ID carry return gone, you know, but this will say carry return ID gone. That works. So what about this one? For what it is? Well, let's say I have a list of 1. I have only 1 ID in my list. This won't work. I don't have a carry return after. This one doesn't work because I don't have a carry return before. So, okay, ID straight, plain ID. Okay, yeah, plain ID, I have it. Got it? Got the concept here?
Okay. That makes sense.
That's avoid having a blank and having at the last having a carry return that, and if you use only this, well, it will say, okay, I get rid of this. Okay, I get rid of this. Okay, I get rid of this. Leaving you with blank, you know, yeah. So you have, and it's for some case we don't care, and trim and everything doesn't work, right? So this is the best way to do. Okay. So that is the removal. That is for the removal. This is if now I want to add it. And I say else, that means if it exists, do this. Otherwise, it's very straightforward. You set the variable with the same name. And you say it's a list of whatever in the contact, whatever in the list, and you add the current ID. So that the list will do, it will say whatever is in the list, whatever is there, right? Right? Whatever is there, add the one I just tapped. If you tap again, that will make selected. If you tap again on that same record, it will say, hey, it exists. That means you want to remove it. So the same script does both, right? And yes, you can call the variable from itself and replace the variable for itself and more. You can do that. That will reset this variable with whatever inside this variable plus this. This will reset the variable with whatever in the variable, right? Minus something, right? So you can do that. You can call the variable itself from its variable definition to use it to reset itself. You can do that, right? So now I have this nice looking thing, right? Script, very simple. Now I can deal with this button here, right? I can deal with this button. And this button will be, I want to hide this button if not pattern counts, right? From the list, the ID contact. If the ID of this row, if the ID of this contact is not part of the variable, that means hide it. That means hide it. Stop. Period. Hide it. Okay. So now that I have this, I want, of course, okay, to name that button, correct? And this is a button selected, right? That the button selected. And here, I want to refresh that button because I'm going to use a variable, to and the calculation that hide and show that object points to a variable. So I need to refresh. So let's try. Okay. So I'm here and I'm clicking here. Oh, sorry. I need to. This button here, it's a copy of go to layout, but now it's a script. Select and select. Okay. So click, 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 click. It doesn't work. Haha. So this doesn't work. Okay, let me deactivate it. Why? Okay, if pattern count. Oh, sorry. My bad. To explain the logic, because the pattern count is not logic, in my opinion. So use pattern count from the list, this item. So now it will work.
There we
See?
go.
And see how fast it is. Look how fast it is.
No, it's like instantaneous. So
Right? It's like it's super light. It's super light. It doesn't, and I don't even edit any record. I don't, you know. So now I have my list, and it's super fast, super fast. So imagine on iPhone, boom, 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 you can tap, 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 tap like this. It will do the same thing. You don't have the spinning and the spinning and the spinning and the spinning like this all every time you stop, because on the iPhone I want to be able to do tup, 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 like this, right? Tup, 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 tup. I don't want to wait. I don't want to click.
People expect
Bum,
instantaneous response.
click, plum. Yeah, you don't want instantaneous response like this. Boom, 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 boom. You don't want something like, oh, you have a spinning wheel, right? So now, if I want the whole thing to work correctly, this green button here, I want to include that green button to that group. The green button here, because I explained that later, and your father, made me rush. So I want this button to be part of the group. So how we do to add a button to a group? With a calculation. You cut the calculation out of the group, the current group, right? You cut it. You ungroup it, and you don't touch anything until you strike the shift key. See, I have a selection of two objects here because that was the two object part of the group. When you ungroup a group, the object keep selected. They stay selected. And now you don't click anywhere. You strike shift key and you add the third. And you group again. And you paste the calculation. And of course, you need to arrange the back. So now this object is part of the group. So let's do it again. I have a group of two. I ungroup it. So I get my two objects selected. And I want to add a third. I strike shifts. I click the third object that will add this object to the selection. I can regroup and paste the calculation. So now this button here, this green stuff, is part of the hidden state driven by this. I have two hidden state combined in one group of objects. This is the main thing that show and hide the wall background. That part of the group, this group here of objects is driven by this hidden. Within the group, I have one object, right? I have one object, this, right? This, which has another hidden calculation. And this is how you combine both. You have a group that hide and show everything. And within that group, you have one that is driven by another calc, when the group is shown, right? That works as well. Demonstration. If I'm not in the edit mode, right? If I'm not in the edit mode, if you want to give me the hand back, well, if I click here, I'm going to the record, right? If I'm in an edit mode, poof. Oh, yeah, yeah. When you ungroup, you lose the name of the button of the group. That is a pain in the you know where. So I need to go there and rename that group, because when you have no warning, by the way, you have no warning that tells you, oh, if you ungroup this, look, I'm showing you. If I ungroup this, it said I have a visibility control by the calculation, but it doesn't tell me that I have a name, right? So be careful on this. Even me, I get tricked, you know. So, but it's obvious when he wasn't showing and hiding correctly, that means. So here I have the normal state. I click selection. Now I am in an edit mode or selection mode, and I can select, right? So before we go to the question, I want to finish this because I got, you know, a delay because I was looking for this calc.
Yeah.
Right. So many things need to happen here. First, right, this here, this variable here, I want it to be cleaned, right? When you do this, that means when you set the selection, this variable need to be cleaned when you enter this, right? Because you want, when you hear, if you hit cancel, you want this to be blank again. You select, because if you don't do this, I have something selected, I hit cancel, when you will give me their hand. So I hit cancel, okay. And I click selection again, it's still there. And you don't want that. If you say cancel, you cancel, right? And since the cancel and the selection is the same script, you put it there, it will always be cleaned up. Always, it will be cleaned, right? So now I'm here, it's clean. I can select this one, this one, this one. If I say cancel and I go back, it's cleaned, right? It's very simple, just blank the variable. So before we go there, now how I can delete the objects, right? I mean the records, only the one I selected. Well, we need a relationship first. So first we need a field I call link, right? And you say transfer IDs. So this is how I'm naming this. It's a text field. And it is, of course, a global. It is a global field, right? And this global field, I'm going to use it in a relationship. I'm in contact, a relationship to itself, right? I can put it here. Contact to contacts, right? And it's ID accounts, ID contact, sorry. And this is self GTRR. Why? That means I tell myself this is a self-joined relationship, contact to contacts is the same. It goes to the same table. This is the ID I'm going to use, the field I'm going to use. It's a self relationship, and this is a go to relate record. That means I'm going to use the transfer ID link field. So to do a go to relate records, right? So I'm going to do this, right? And I'm going to do this for now. And I'm going to use this with the ID contact. So what this will do, right? So now I want to delete those records, right? So what do I do? First, you need to do something clean, right? We want to do something clean and neat. So we need here a new layout. And this is our contacts, card style or card. It's a contact card pointing to the contact table, right? I'm showing you the good way, you know, I'm showing the right way. Now, if you feel like it's too much, too bad. That's the right way. Okay, so I mean, you know, you're here to learn. So you're here to learn excellence and not the quick and dirty. Okay, so but it's not a big of a deal. Okay, so but I want to show you, and then it's a technique you can use for many things. So this it needs to be small. You don't want to be big. This, you know, small like this. And inside this, you want to merge a variable you name message. So this is how you merge a variable. You have this two signs on both sides, and you put the name of the variable inside it. So why I'm doing this? Because I don't want to have an hard-coded message. I want to be able to build my message the way I want from the scripts, because I might reuse that card style window for other things. I might. So the best is to do this. You have a merge variable in the card style window in a layout that points to the contact table. So now that I have this, I can go back to my contact list phone, right? And I can continue my deletion stuff, right? So I'm going to hide this group, and I want to delete the selection. So here you have a little icon with a trash, right? So of course, always you need a visual continuity. We call that, okay? So you have on the right all the main controls, always on the right. Why? Because the majority of people are right-handed. Sorry, but that's true. So on the right, you have the main control: add, select, unselect, send, whatever is there. Go to your phone and you will see. If you don't trust me, all the main commands are on the right side. This is it. Go wherever you want. The add, so the actions, add or remove or, edit, whatever is on the right side. Now it's a secondary command, but I want a visual continuity with the selection, because this is connected. The selection and the trash is connected, right? The selection and the trash are connected because the trash will actually delete the selection, right? So I need a visual selection, a visual continuity. So I have it now, right? Yeah, I have it. So now that I have this, right, I can create my delete record scripts. So I have the set selection. I have the select and select. And now I have all of those things so slow. Boom, 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 boom. Why so slow? Okay. I have delete contacts, right? This is what I have. A script delete contact. And you think it will be a nightmare. It will be a 200-line script, right? It won't be. Because I'm using all the goodness of FileMaker, which is I have a relationship that will gather the record for me. And I have a visual support with the car style window that will help me doing that in a very clean and simple manner. Okay. So here, remember, this has selected and unselected a list of ID, correct? Right? If you want to give me this. So this, the select and select, I have built a list of IDs I want to delete. Okay. This selection, this one, selected contact ID. So I'm doing this. Set fields, my link of transfer, the link ID, the transfer ID, right? With the selected contact ID contents. And then I say, go to a record using my TO5E in my brand new nice card style window that I just built. I want a new window will be a card. I don't want to close. I don't want to dim. Just like this, it will do all the work. And you say only related records. I want only the record that are part of that selection. That will open a new window, right? But before this, remember, I want to set up the message that will be displayed on the window. Now, a merge variable has the same problem of refreshing as, because it's a variable. A variable doesn't have any committing and auto refresh, let's say. We need to refresh, but I have a trick for you. If I set the message variable before to show the window, then I will get the auto refresh for free, because the message will be set before the appearance of the window. So when the window will come, it will attempt to display the message. Okay. Do you really want to delete? No, sorry. Yeah, I need that message, by the way. But for the message will be deleting. Yeah. So now I want to know how many records I'm deleting before the selection. Well, I have my best friend value count, and I'm going to value count whatever I have this in selected contact ID. That will give me how many records I have. Deleting and contacts. Dot. That means that's the message. I'm deleting this. But before, I want the message showing that, do you want to delete those records, right? So I need to say show. Actually, I can copy paste this, which is the same, right? So I'm doing that first, right? delete contact. Do you want permanent delete? And I have value count, selection, right? And here, contact, right? Do you want to permanently delete X number of contacts? And then you say delete cancel. And if you say cancel, you halt everything. Otherwise, it continues. I have a message in this new window. And then after that, I say delete all record. Because, you know, that will delete the record that we select. Of course, remember, we have a new window. So I need to close the window. Advantage of this technique is this. So let's show you. I have a support. I have a visual support, right? So then I can do whatever I want. My support is this window, right? So here I say cancel. So of course, I need to add to that. I need to add to that group, right? I need to add to that group. I need to hide this as well. If not selection. Okay, but not selection with the, I want to remove, but I want this to be refreshed when this group is refreshed. I don't want another refresh object. I want to add this to the group because they're side to side. They're side by side here. So I copy the name of that group. I ungroup this group. I add this to the group. I regroup and then I paste the name. Boom. And now I have those three objects will be automatically refreshed with the same script step, right? Cancel, selection, and this goes away. Now, this button here needs to have, right? This is not really, you know, this here, I'm going to do that another time because the time is running. So now I'm selecting this. I'm selecting four, you know, four selected, right? So, and I want to delete those. So here I have my list, the current list, the selected contact. I have my four contacts. If I remove this one, the 7, 9, you know, if I remove this one, boom, it goes away. Now I have 3. If I add it again, now I have 4 again. Okay, so we know this is connected to this. So now if I run the debugger and I said, okay, delete. Okay, do you want to delete 4 contacts? Yes, I want to delete 4 contacts. So I'm setting my global field that will be used in the relationship. I'm setting my message. So now I have a variable saying message, right? Deleting 4 contacts, right? I go to read records with this car star window, which, by the way, the get found count, I don't know if I have it here, get found count 4. So is in this window, I have my 4 records selected out of 6, but I don't want to delete those because they are my example, right? So, so when that happened, right, that you stuck like this, okay? So you can either change the layout, but the best way is to add a script that close the window, right? close window, because it's a CalStar window and I don't have the close window. So, and you put that on the script menu, right? And this is a close window, right? So now I'm here, I'm stuck because this is a CalStar window. I cannot close and to close here, but I have a closed window and now I can close it. Okay, because I don't want to delete those. I'm going to delete this, and this, those three, but not those. Okay, so now I have free contacts. Free contact, delete. This says deleting free contacts, delete all record, close the window, and boom. But normally, when you are done doing your action on the iPhone, you don't want to stay stuck the way you are now. You're still in the delete mode. You don't want this. When you're done with your action, so when you're done doing this, you want to reset this. You want to reset this and set false by default, because you want to get out of that mode. So let's recap. I have, let's create new records, or let's create many. Okay. So I'm creating records. So I have 9 records here. I want to delete those. I want to delete those records. So I'm here. I'm clicking selection. I'm selecting 3 of them. I click the delete button. I say delete 3. And boom. And you get out of the deleted chunk. So that means you have deleted your stuff, you're done. Right? If you want to delete more, select and delete, and you go away. But you don't want to stay in the delete mode. You want to get out of the delete mode, right? Delete. So technically, normally, okay, on an iPhone, you won't even see the CalStar window popping. It won't show up, right?
Oh, okay.
It won't show up because it's too. I mean, if you select a 200 record, yeah, it will show up. If you select 3, 4, 1, 10, it won't show up because it will be too fast to show the window, right? But so now you can feel that this is a natural behavior, right? So yes, it's a lot, right? But you select, you hide. Now you know the mode have changed, right? You select your stuff, and you tap the little icon here, permanently delete 4 contacts, delete, and you're gone. And it didn't even show the cast time. So if you have question, we can take 1 or 2 questions. I don't know.
I think people have mostly been following along. So I have some questions that I'll forward to you, but I think I'll send them to you tomorrow because I have to go to a meeting. So
okay, no problem. Okay, so sorry for the delay, but I got.
This is always really interesting. I implemented this technique that you showed us. You showed us a variation of it, but not Go specifically, but I implemented a while back. So getting a refresher is always awesome and is always very cool.
Yes.
So, thank you everybody for coming. Thank you, Nick, for presenting as always.
Okay, thank you.
I will see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Yes,
Bye-bye, guys.
Bye.